do it in a way that's authentic to you, because when you do it in a way that's authentic to you, that's how you're going to succeed. That's how you're going to keep doing it.
All right. Hey, authentic influencers. I am so excited to introduce you to my good friend, Debbie Stewart. She is just a rock star at what she's doing. And I can't wait for you all to hear like all the amazing stuff that she's working on. So welcome, Debbie.
Hey, hi guys. How are you? Thanks for having me on, Brooke. I'm so excited to be here today.
Well, I want to first dive into kind of where you were at before you found Social Tenacity and kind of your journey and just like where you're at now.
Okay, so before Social Tenacity, I remember like you would always hear those go for the nose and message the people. And it's like it never felt right to me. So I just never did it because it felt icky. And then I remember a friend had referred me to you, and I listened to one of your podcasts, and it was like that, the webinar that you do. And then I just listened, and it was like, you don't have to be spammy. You don't have to do those things. And so that was something that really intrigued me. It's like, all right, I knew that there was a better way to do this. I just didn't know how to do it. And so that was where I was before. I mean, I still had the cells and different ways of doing it, but I felt like I was doing it kind of just like everybody else. And I knew as I watched and as I went through In Pursuit of Recruits, I knew that I could get better, that by making myself stand out and stand apart and building on my own brand, that was something that helped me a lot. So,
and you definitely
now,
have built this amazing brand that I love.
Well, thank you. And that was the thing, is, Brooke, like something that I struggled with, like I was in Brooke's program over a year ago, and it literally is because like we were just joking about this before. Sometimes I overthink things, and I was just like, all right, it's easy. People that have like supplements, it's easy. They can help with weight loss, but I don't do weight loss, but it's like I'm in the home industry, but decorating maybe isn't necessarily my rock star thing. And so I really, really struggled for a long time of what I had to offer. And so it really wasn't, and Brooke knows, I would message her, Brooke, you have to do stuff about like maybe businesses that aren't health and wellness or different things like that. How do we help people in our industry to see that? And so I felt like that was something that you helped me finally get clarity, I think just a few weeks ago. So it's literally been a year that it was like, that's it. Like making people feel good, making people feel wanted. Like that is my brand. And then it was like, I was already doing things and being successful, because like sponsoring was where my hang up was too before Social Tenacity. Like I really struggled with it, but then I see that I was overthinking it, and I really could do it. And it was inside of me. And I feel like Social Tenacity helped me to unlock that and see that. And now I have confidence that I can teach people how to do this. I am good at this, and I can make a business built upon people feeling like they are seen and wanted and showing kindness. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, how I do that through one of the things that I do in my business that's made a big difference.
Yes. And it's your subscription boxes, which I am a recipient of, and I love them every single month. And so that was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to get you on here, because like what you have put together, like it looks like it could be a lot of work. So I'd love to kind of just have you walk us through what it is that you do, how you market it, because what you're doing is really amazing.
Well, first off, I have to not take credit for the original idea. And that's what I love about like direct sales. Like everybody just shares and we get inspiration, and it's not like you have to do all the things, but when you find something, then take inspiration from it, almost like a Pinterest inspiration. Mm-hmm. And that's what this was for a long time, Brooke. Like I feared doing it because people would be like, oh, you don't make money on it, and it takes so much time. And so, we always want to work smarter and not harder. And so I kind of didn't do it for a long time. And then finally there was one of my fellow consultants that got on there and was like, look, don't overcomplicate it, keep it simple and just put it out there. And that was all I needed, was that inspiration. And so I just went from there and I started. And so I knew if I had a theme with these boxes that it would be easy to put product around. But then I didn't want to just put anything in there and like, just cutesy and the same stuff every month, because with my company, we're known for, we have kind of a flagship product with our wax and our warmers, but it's like, all right, I want to take people on a journey to try all of it. Kind of like, when you get a really good coupon and you get to try something for free, and it's like, you never knew that something could be so amazing because you had never tried it before. And so I also like to take the guesswork out of it too. And so by putting these boxes together, I could be able to do that, and I could help take them on a journey throughout all of the products. And so one of the things too I'd say is like, as a result of, and I'll explain more, but like something that's come about it is it's so fun when I work in my VIP group. Like my customers have pretty much tried, my subscribers, pretty much everything that Scentsy offers. And it's really exciting to see that. And so what I do, the way that you do it, guys, like honestly, if you'll just have a theme when you get started and then pick a price point. And when you're going to do a price point, think about you. Like I always put myself in the position, what is something that I would pay every month for? And so for like $25, I don't know, maybe once in a while, 30, that's a little bit much for me. So where I decided to go was $20 plus tax a month. And so I try to put about $20 worth of product in there. And so with like our company, and you'll want to check out like with your company how it works, but we can't charge for samples or extras or things like that. And so we will put, if you say $20, there has to be at least $20 of product in there. And then what I try to do from there, so I try to do about 2 to 3 of products. And then after that, what I do is I take and I get extras that go with the theme. And then something that's cool is like when you start, it might be basic, but as you keep going, you're going to start to figure it out, and it gets better and better and better. And then you just start to find ways that make it work for you, and you find strategy. And it's been incredible what it's become. And so it really isn't bad. If you can just find themes, and I use Pinterest, then you can go there. For example, one that I did for this month, I'm telling you, Brooke, now I'm telling you all of my secrets, and it's not going to be a surprise for you for July anymore, but
that's okay.
part of my thing with my brand is I really want people to, like when people get this box, it's not just about the product either and trying new stuff, but I want to bring joy to people. I want them to feel in their heart, like to feel happiness, because, there's a lot of stuff going on right now and in the world and different things, and people have things going on in their life. But if they can when they get this box, not only are they trying new stuff, but they're feeling good too. And I want it to ooze that there's been heart put into this, that I care about you, that I see you, and that I want this to make your day. And I love that. And it's fun to get messages from customers, and even when you had shared a message with me, and it's like they share that, and it's cool to see that energy that you put into it and those little attention to details, it really does make all the difference for people. And so that's what I try to do is, so for example, for July's box, I was inspired by Katy Perry's song Firework. And so it's like, I want to do more than just red, white, and blue, but how can we put a little bit of purpose into this? And so there's different products in there that, like, we have a fragrance flower. So I got thinking, all right, what's something that's like a firework? And so we have an item that is like a flower. So, something fun to go along with that. And it's got a lyric from Katy Perry. And then another product that I have is our hand cream. Again, our body line that people aren't trying necessarily, but it's a fun little twist of how it, caution, handle with care, because it's a firework. And then it talks, again, a little line from Katy Perry's song. And so when they're looking at these products, they're seeing how it all ties into the theme.
I love it. Well, and my girls absolutely love every single month in the mail. They're like, is that our Scentsy? Mm-hmm. And then they get to open it up and have all the fun things in it. And I know a couple months ago you did the one that you put in the car.
The one that, the mini fan diffuser.
Yes.
Yep.
So we went on a family vacation. It was just a little trip down to southern Utah. And I have teenage boys. And anyone who has teenage boys, they just stink. So it was so nice that we just plugged that in. And every time we got in the car, we're like, oh, it smells good. I can spend, 3 hours in the car with my boys now, because now it smells good. And that's something that I never would have tried, because it's one of those that's like, oh, that's cool. But that's the thing that I love about what you're doing is, like you said, you're exposing your customers to all the things that you have to offer. Because I tell everyone, whenever you're trying to decide, okay, what is it that I'm going to be promoting? You want to promote your one flagship, whatever that is. And I see for you, it's your subscription box. That's your thing. Because then you can give them a bunch of samples of things that they can try out and see if they like it. And I'm sure that because you're doing this, it's increasing your sales because you're staying in front of mine every single month.
Well, and the crazy thing is, and that was the thing, is you just see it as this cutesy little box, but then like you said, Brooke, this cutesy box turns into something powerful. It turns into reorders, because you probably would have never tried the mini fan because it's away from the flagship of wax and warmers. Mm-hmm. But because it was in there, you paid your $20. You didn't have to think about it. You just put it in, what you put in, you're going to get a whip box. You get to try that. The same thing, with Scentsy's become so much more than wax and warmers. It's laundry products and clean line. And a lot of people have not tried that before, just because they're just, we kind of stick with what we're familiar with. But
Mm-hmm.
when it get presented in a fun, unique way, then it becomes powerful. And so it's fun. I love just being able to take customers on a journey and letting them try, because these are products that I love. And it's like, you got to try these. And then what's so fun is they love them. And then like you said, it has significantly increased my sales, because now there's reorders like you. Now they need more pods for their mini fan because they're in love with it. Oh my gosh, the washer lifts are incredible. I have to get more of those. And what I like to do too is, you think when you're putting together, another tip that I'd recommend with your subscription boxes, like if you're going to put in like a flagship product, like our wax or like the wax, try to present it in a new way. So for example, again, with this July box that I'm doing, I molded 3 different stars, a red scent, a white scent, and a blue scent. And I molded them all, like 3 of them. And then I put together a little mix and I call it firework. So now I'm going to show my customers how not only can you use warmer or wax, but you can mix it together. And so the instructions are on there. Put it all in your warmer and warm it. And now we're showing them a fresh way to look at it that they may not have looked at before. My base grew from my very first 2 years ago was 8 people. And now we're up to 60 people, and people just add every single month, and they're so excited. And even on my VIP group, like you've probably seen it, the way that I finally have kept track of this, because you have to have an organized way to do it. But I just create a Google form, you guys, like it's so easy, and that's free for you. Just create a Google form, and it's just a sign up sheet. And something that else too that would be helpful when you do it, and then I've learned this along the way, is I used to make my whiff boxes all the same. So I would pick all the same scent for every single thing. But then it was great. And this is why you have to be willing to accept some, positive feedback. Is one of my customers was like, is it always food scents? And he's like, I don't like food scents. And then at first it's like, I could be sad about that, or I could be like, oh, let's learn from that, you guys. And that's one thing, if you learn from this feedback that you get. And then it was like, all right, so now we do all the same product, but they get to pick. So then it's kind of like a customization. And so, everybody got a fragrance flower, but everybody gets to pick the flavor that they want. But I don't tell them what it is. I'll just be like, pick one, or if your laundry should smell like this to you. And so it's just kind of fun, exciting ways. And then I post that link in my VIP group, and I text it out to my customers, because we can't assume that everybody's on social media. Mm-hmm. And so you've got to kind of go in all your ways. But then it's kind of almost like, who can be the first one to sign up? And then everybody, like, it's just crazy interaction and engagement on my VIP group, as everybody is so excited to be able to say that they signed up for their whiff box. They're adding people to my group so they can get signed up for their whiff box. And even people share it on their personal page, and like, you guys, my Scentsy lady does whiff boxes. You're going to love them so much. So you see, like, look how it's expanding the customer base. Look how it's exposing people to new products that they haven't tried before. It's crazy. It's like, I never thought, like, I just thought it was this cutesy little box that I feared, and it's just become this machine that has done wonders for my Scentsy business.
That's awesome. Well, and the thing I love too about the Google form and filling it out is you get this list of like maybe like 5 cents, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to get, but I got to pick a good scent, and every single time, like when you finally get the box, is like, oh, this is so awesome. And I love it. So everything that you've done and what you put together is just amazing. And I love being able to see your business grow and your customer base grow in a unique way that not a lot of people are doing, because this is very like outside the box,
But it's awesome. Like, and that's what's so cool, is I think we get so stuck as network marketers that, that we get stuck in a way, and there is just this way. And really there's lots of ways to do it. I mean, there's basic things that need to happen in direct sales, right? You need to have your sales, and you need to have your sponsoring, and then you need to be able to teach people to do what you do. But the way that you do that, there's 101 million ways to do it. And that's why that's what you teach us, is do it in a way that's authentic to you, because when you do it in a way that's authentic to you, that's how you're going to succeed. That's how you're going to keep doing it. Is doing it that way, right? And being able to, like, one of your questions that you had asked is like, what's one of your favorite episodes? And the one where you talked about the ghosts and the roller coasters. Like, so many times we fear these things, but those things that we fear, when we can push past it, gosh, there's so much light. And on that other side of that fear, that's like, that's exactly what you needed in your business for it to take the next step forward towards reaching your goals.
Awesome. Well, if there's people who are listening and they want to be a part of your group, or maybe be a subscriber to your boxes, where is the best place for them to find you?
Okay, so the best place to find me, if you're wanting to get one of these, would probably be in my VIP community. We have so much fun in there. That's where we put the sign up sheet for it. Or if they're not wanting to do that, we can also just like link up, and they can get in my text club, and I can text that out to them as well. So yeah, a couple of different options, but honestly, probably the VIP group, that's definitely the most fun place to be.
Awesome. Well, Debbie, thank you so much for being on here. This is so fun to reconnect with you and hear how things are going.
It was my pleasure. I appreciate it, Brooke. Thank you. Good luck, you guys. Do it. Like, go do something that scares you and make this awesome happen in your business.
Awesome. Love it. See you guys next time.
Okay. All right. Bye.